All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump discuss bilateral issues on sidelines of UN General Assembly session in New York. India-US trade agreement soon. India announces $12 million grant for high-impact developmental projects in Pacific Island countries. Gandhi Solar Park inaugurated at UN headquarters on Mahatma Gandhi's 150th birth anniversary. Prime Minister receives Global Goalkeeper Award for Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. 5.8 magnitude earthquake claims 26 lives in Pakistan Occupied Kashmir. And Indian women defeat South Africa by 11 runs in first T20 in Surat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi met US President Donald Trump on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly session in New York last night and discussed bilateral ties. Addressing a joint press conference after the meeting, President Trump said the US will soon have a trade deal with India to boost economic ties between the two nations.
We're doing very well, and we'll have the larger deal down the road a little bit, but we will have a trade deal very soon.
Mr. Modi said, as far as trade is concerned, he is very happy that in Houston, in his presence, there was an agreement signed by Indian company Petronet for $2.5 billion, which is the amount of investment the Indian company is going to do in the energy sector.
मुझे खुशी है कि जब ह्यूस्टन में था तो हमारे पेट्रोनेट ने वहां पर $2.5 बिलियन के इन्वेस्टमेंट के साथ एनर्जी सेक्टर में इन्वेस्टमेंट का एमओयू किया है और उसका परिणाम ये होगा कि आने वाले कुछ दशक में करीब $60 बिलियन का ट्रेड और करीब 50,000 लोगों के लिए जॉब तो अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा इनिशिएटिव भारत ने लिया है.
Mr. Modi thanked the US President for coming to his Houston event, Howdy Modi. The Prime Minister said Mr. Trump is his friend and a good friend of India. Addressing media after the meeting of the two leaders, Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale said that there was no discussion on the timeline, but New Delhi is optimistic that it will be able to conclude an understanding or an agreement fairly soon.
Both leaders reviewed the discussions that are ongoing. The Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has specially travelled to New York over the weekend. He has been having discussions with US Trade Representative Lighthizer. Significant progress has been made on a number of issues. We have narrowed the areas of difference. The two leaders therefore felt that they were optimistic in terms of us reaching some kind of a trade agreement in the near future. And discussions will continue in this regard.
The two countries are negotiating a trade package to iron out issues and promote the two-way commerce. On Kashmir, President Trump reiterated his hope that India and Pakistan will resolve the issue soon. Speaking about Pakistan's sponsored terrorism, he said Prime Minister Modi has given a loud and clear message to Pakistan. In response to a question on Pakistani Prime Minister's acceptance that ISI-trained Al-Qaeda terrorists, President Trump said Prime Minister Modi will take care of it.
Your Prime Minister will take care of it. He'll solve the problem. I have no doubt about it. I have great respect. I have great admiration, and I really like him. He's a great leader. He's like an American version of Elvis Presley. They love your Prime Minister. It's a great thing.
The Foreign Secretary said during the talks, Prime Minister Modi put across India's views on terrorism.
We have faced on terrorism, and particularly terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir over the last 30 years. Prime Minister underscored to President Trump that 42,000 lives have been lost to terror attacks in the last 30 years, and that it is incumbent on the international community to join together to fight this scourge of terrorism.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also met leaders of the Pacific Islands Developing States, PSIDS, on the sidelines of the UNGA session. The Prime Minister demonstrated India's commitment to advancing their development priorities. External Affairs Ministry in a press release said, in the spirit of his fundamental mantra, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas or Sabka Vishwas, Prime Minister Modi announced allocation of $12 million grant towards implementation of high-impact developmental project in the area of their choice. Expressing India's readiness to share its experiences in developing alternate energy, Mr. Modi voiced satisfaction as many countries from the region had joined the International Solar Alliance and invited others to join this initiative. In the health sector, the PM offered to organize a Jaipur Foot Artificial Limb Fitment Camp in a Pacific regional hub under India for Humanity program. To further enhance people-to-people contact, Prime Minister announced a Distinguished Visitors program under which eminent persons from these countries can visit India. Leaders of PSIDS welcomed the initiatives proposed by PM Modi to strengthen engagement and cooperation between the two sides and reassured full support from their respective governments. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared his thoughts on Mahatma Gandhi at a program hosted by India in New York this morning. Mr. Modi, along with other world leaders, also inaugurated the Gandhi Solar Park at the UN headquarters and released a commemorative stamp issued by the UN on the occasion of Gandhi's 150th birth anniversary. Mr. Modi said the platform is a living example that Mahatma Gandhi was from India but did not belong only to India. He said even those who had never met Gandhiji were deeply influenced by his life.
महात्मा गांधी सत्ता से इतना दूर रहने के बावजूद आज भी वो करोड़ों लोगों के दिलों पर राज कर रहे हैं। आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं कि जिनसे गांधी जी कभी मिले नहीं, वो भी उनके जीवन से कितना प्रभावित रहे। मार्टिन ल्यूथर किंग जूनियर हो या नेल्सन मंडेला, उनके विचारों का आधार महात्मा गांधी थे।
The Prime Minister said Gandhi ji had stressed on the real strength of democracy.
आज लोकतंत्र की परिभाषा का एक सीमित अर्थ रह गया है कि जनता अपनी पसंद की सरकार चुने और सरकार जनता की अपेक्षा के अनुसार काम करे। लेकिन महात्मा गांधी ने लोकतंत्र की असली शक्ति पर बल दिया। उन्होंने वो दिशा दिखाई जिसमें लोग शासन पर निर्भर न हो और स्वावलंबी बने।
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and a number of heads of state were present on the occasion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was conferred the Global Goalkeeper Award by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan launched by his government. Accepting the award, Mr. Modi said he shares the honour with crores of Indians who had contributed to the success of the cleanliness mission.
ये सम्मान मेरा नहीं बल्कि उन करोड़ों भारतीयों का है जिन्होंने स्वच्छ भारत के संकल्प को न केवल सिद्ध किया बल्कि अपनी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में ढाला भी है।
Mr. Modi said over 11 crore toilets were built in the country in the last 5 years, which is a record. The Prime Minister said when 130 crore people take a pledge, any challenge can be overcome.
महात्मा गांधी की 150वीं जयंती पर मुझे अवार्ड दिया जाना मेरे लिए व्यक्तिगत रूप से भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। ये इस बात का प्रमाण है कि अगर 130 करोड़ लोगों की जनशक्ति किसी एक संकल्प को पूरा करने में जुट जाए तो किसी भी चुनौती पर जीत हासिल की जा सकती है।
The Swachh Bharat Abhiyan was launched by the Modi government during its first term on the 2nd of October 2014. The National Investigation Agency NIA has recovered improvised explosive device materials from the Bengaluru module of Jamaat-ul-Mujahideen Bangladesh JMB. The items were seized based on the information provided by Jahidul Islam, one of the terror operatives held by the investigation agency. The NIA said it found several articles from their electronic city hideout in Bengaluru which were meant to be used for preparation of improvised explosive devices. Nation pays homage to Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya on his birth anniversary today. Various functions have been organized in different parts of the country to mark the occasion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute to Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya on his birth anniversary. In a tweet, Mr. Modi described him as one of the greatest icons of India. Prime Minister said his life's message of serving the most downtrodden with compassion resonates far and wide. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar also paid homage to Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya on his birth anniversary. Maharashtra Election Commission has shifted over 5,400 polling stations located on higher floors to ground level to ensure that Divyang and senior citizens do not face any trouble while voting. State's Additional Chief Electoral Officer Dilip Shinde said polling booths have been shifted to ground floor in buildings where lift or elevator facility is not available. A powerful 5.8 magnitude earthquake jolted Pakistan Occupied Kashmir (POK) and several cities in the northeastern parts of the country yesterday, killing at least 26 people and wounding over 300 others. According to U.S. Geological Survey, the epicenter of the quake was near New Manipur in POK, which was severely affected by the quake. The depth of the quake was at 10 kilometers. Indian women beat South Africa by 11 runs in the first T20 International of the 5-match series at Surat last night. Earlier put into bat, India scored 130 for 8 in the stipulated 20 overs. Skipper Harmanpreet Kaur contributed highest 43 runs. Defending champion Manipur has clinched the Senior Women's National Football Championship title. Manipur defeated Railways 1-0 in the final played at CHS ground at Pasighat in Arunachal Pradesh. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Sunil Verma.
Thank you, Anuja. Prime Minister Modi and US President Trump's bilateral meet in New York dominates the front page of all dailies today. The top headline in the Pioneer quotes the US President, "Modi knows how to tackle terror." The Hindustan Times writes about the leaders reaffirming friendship and Trump comparing Modi with the legendary rock star Elvis Presley. Income tax rate for individuals may be cut soon is the headline in the Asian Age. Enforcement Directorate ED books Sharad Pawar, nephew, in a money laundering case, reports the Tribune. The Hindu, under the headline "No More Waste Mounds on Siachen," reports about the army bringing down nearly 130 tons of waste from the Siachen glacier. Finally, all the dailies have covered the news of the legend Amitabh Bachchan being honoured with the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Award. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Sunil. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump discussed bilateral issues on sidelines of UN General Assembly session in New York. India-US trade agreement soon. India announces $12 million grant for high-impact developmental projects in Pacific Island countries. Gandhi Solar Park inaugurated at UN headquarters on Mahatma Gandhi's 150th birth anniversary. Prime Minister receives Global Goalkeeper Award for Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And Indian women's defeat South Africa by 11 runs in first T20 in Surat. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.